Hello, it's Not Bad Cat here on January 1st, 2022 with your weekly Rimworld mod updates and uploads. I've changed a couple of things based on your feedback, so thank you, and let's get started. First up is a mod that's going on my essentials list. 021 Tweaks Galore by Neuronix17. Sometimes it's nice to have a small mod that does one thing, but it tends to make your mod list large and unwieldy. And sometimes it's annoying having to remember what mod does that one thing you like when making a new mod list. Neuronix17 has changed that and definitely made my mod list smaller. Everything is disabled by default, so you can choose what you want active or not. It's also organized by categories, which makes it easier for you to find related settings. Some options can be customized to your liking, such as smoothing speed, power used, or stacking stone chunks. How many mods did Tweaks Galore replace for me? 10. What about you? Let me know in the comments. We have VFE Ancients unlocked by Vintorez. How many times have your pawns died of starvation in the vault they're supposedly been living in because you didn't open the right locked door? You either have to hope to get lucky opening up the right door, get the super hacking superpower, or you have to memorize or look up the vault layout. VFE Ancients Unlocked changes this up so you have immediate access to everything in the vault, but the way outside remains locked. This also happens for any vaults for quests, except for looted vaults. Vintorez also released VFE Ancients Constructable Supply Slingshot. If your ideal Legion has the isolationist meme included in VFE Ancients, your pawns wouldn't want to trade with outsiders. You know they're listening through the comms console and trade beacons. Well, now your pawns can build the supply slingshot and never have to talk to anyone. They'll accept everything, whether they want it or not, but you'll be given anything, whether you want it or not. See, this is why proper communication is important. And our last mod for VFE Ancients is Ancients Craftable by Scorpio. It pairs very well with Bildor's useful junks. You can craft ancient buildings as well as the super nanites. You'll need to do your research, and those nanites don't come cheap. You might know Mlie as the person that revives mods that have been abandoned. Today, this is not one of those. This is an original for Mlie, relevant stats in description. Very similar to last week's mods, Show Build Cost by Cliffy Q and Show Stuff Categories by Evelyn, this mod allows you to show information on all sorts of stats. In the mod settings, you can enable or disable any stats based on what's important to you. Next up, an update to Map Designer by Zylleon. See, I actually typically keep this mod out of my mod list because I will spend all my time adjusting my maps than actually playing said maps. But this update makes your rivers much more realistic because rivers never really travel in a straight line for too long. You can now have branching rivers and oxbows. Settle your colony between the two branches of a river or in the loop of an oxbow, and you have some real defenses, especially if it's a huge river. NoWayJose released 2 mods this week and updated a third. Don't like siege raids? Use No More Siege Raids. Don't like Sapper raids? Use No More Sapper raids. Don't like breach raids? Yeah, it's called No More Breach Raids. Siege and Sapper are new, while Breach has been updated to version 1.3.3200. Zaljerem has revived 2 mods this week for all you magic users out there. Wands and Spells continued, and Wizarding Rim Hogwarts Apparel continued. You'll need the wand woodworking table and the spell writing table to put together the ingredients to cause all the destruction you please. But you should do it in the proper gear, of course. What houses do your pawns belong to? Is it based on their traits? Is it based on their behavior? Perhaps their ideal Legion? Zaljerem has been updating other wizarding mods, so be sure to check them out. Do you think that everyone in your colony should have the same conviction to their ideal Legion? Wouldn't you want the most devout to lead your pawns? And maybe some don't find it important. Some might even be unsure about how they want to live their life. Zeal Traits by nmajask adds 4 new traits that changes the pawn's conversion strength, chance of talking about their ideologian to another pawn, and their own faithfulness to their ideologian. Maybe you shouldn't employ the pawn that sees wardening as just some job, and use someone who will be at any and every ritual, no matter what. And if you've captured a zealot, if you want them to conform to you, that will be a very long task. Maybe ask yourself, are they worth it? Or are they heathen? That wraps up the mod updates and uploads for this week of January 1st, 2022. If you're interested in any of these mods, you can find links to them in my description. And if you enjoy hearing about the latest Rimworld mods, please like, subscribe, and comment on this video. Also, share it with others. It's a great way to find a new mod for your next colony. I'm NotBadCat, and I'll see you next week.